Texas wants to be king of nuclear power as next AI trade unfolds. Now, I'm not going to get into my qualms with artificial intelligence. I always get the hate mail every time I do, and not that I care about that, but I want to focus on the nuclear power aspect of it. All I'll say is that AI is obviously here and integrating with society. Artificial general intelligence will be here this year, almost certainly, and will start to integrate society into it. And then once we get to artificial superintelligence in the next 2 to 5 years, then we're going to society will change. At least for Western society, it will change dramatically. And I encourage people, I'll just say this, I just encourage people to become as self-reliant as possible, to be not necessarily to break away from society today, though that wouldn't be a bad idea, but to at least be prepared and able to break away from society as much as possible once artificial superintelligence fully rears its ugly head. But with that said, there is good news, and this is, to me, a very positive story because it focuses on nuclear power, which I'm a huge fan of. Nuclear power is by far the best sustainable energy out there. It's not even close compared to wind or solar or whatever else they try to throw at us. Nuclear power is the good stuff. It's basically unlimited. It's very, 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 very clean. It's very inexpensive. It checks all the boxes that should make the climate change cultists super excited about it. But of course, if they were to go down that road, that would mean they wouldn't get their Green New Deal because it wouldn't be necessary, and therefore they hate it. You know, don't forget, the Green New Deal is all about an economic plan, not a climate change plan, if they really wanted to address climate change, even in their own terms. Now, I'm not talking about my perspectives on climate change or your perspectives on climate change. If they do believe in climate change, then they should embrace nuclear power because it is the solution, and it's cheap, but whatever. According to this article over at Zero Hedge, we have a cross-posted at AmericanPoliticalReport.com, at least in part. Texas is positioning itself to aggressively install next-generation nuclear reactors on its electrical grid to power artificial intelligence data centers and other electrification trends meticulously outlined in the next AI trade, which I'm not going to read to you or tell you about, but the link will be there. It's a good read. The small West Texas city of Abilene is better known for country music and rodeos than advanced nuclear physics, but that's where scientists are entering the final stretch of a race to boot up the next generation of American atomic energy. Praise God for that. Amid a flurry of nuclear startups around the world, Abilene-based Natura Resources is one of just 2 companies with permits from the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission to construct a so-called advanced reactor. It will build its small 1-megawatt molten salt reactor beneath a newly completed laboratory at Abilene Christian University in an underground trench 25 feet deep and 80 feet long, covered by a concrete lid and serviced by a 40-ton construction crane. The other company is in Oak Ridge, yada, yada, yada. A company and school no one has heard of has gotten to the forefront of advanced nuclear, said Rusty Towell, a nuclear physicist at Abilene Christian University and lead developer of Natura's reactor. This is going to bless the world, and I truly believe it is. I think the nuclear power is the way to go for obvious reasons. But if it's going to take artificial intelligence to prompt us as a nation to go far more nuclear than we already have, so be it. You know, if we're going to get something positive out of AI, this is it. Otherwise, everything else that I see with artificial intelligence is pretty much, I don't know, apocalyptic. If there's one thing that people who are brand new to prepping often forget, it's the long-term storage meds. I think a lot of times people either forget them or they don't realize that they can acquire medications that can be held for an extended period of time. My good friends over at Jace Medical, well, they've got you covered, whether it's for chronic meds for illnesses that you or your family members have, whether it's antibiotics, just being ready for whatever is going to happen in the world. These are things that you should have available to you if you're going to be preparing for self-reliance in the long haul. Go to jdrucker.com/meds, jdrucker.com/meds. Use promo code Rucker10, the number 10, Rucker10 at checkout, and you get a nice discount on top of that. jdrucker.com/meds.